So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview, broadcast and recorded live on blogtalkradio.com from the new Media and American League Baseball capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. I could spend the next hour talking about Patti LuPone's incredible history on the Broadway stage. We'd start with her recent run starring in Gypsy, for which she won a Tony Award and a Drama Desk Award, and which drew no less than co-author Stephen Sondheim himself on closing night. I'd have to mention Sweeney Todd, of course, and Evita, and that she's currently touring the country with Mandy Patinkin in a 2-act concert. But then I couldn't fit in the real reason for her joining me this morning. Patti LuPone is on 30 Rock this week. Patti, welcome to Mr. Media.
Why, thank you. And is this Bob?
Yes.
Hi, Bob.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Media.
Hey.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And Patti, in this week's 30 Rock, incredibly, you play the mother of Frank, one of the writers on the staff of TGS. How on earth did that come about?
Well, I just got a telephone call, and I said yes because I'm a big fan of the show. And then I read the script. Doesn't usually happen in that order, but I'm really a big fan of the show, and I was thrilled to be asked. And I've known Alec for years, and my scene is with Alec and Judah, and I had a ball. So.
And it's Judah Friedlander, of course, that plays Frank, one of the writers. Now, did it worry you to find out that they cast you as Frank's mother? I mean, Frank's not exactly the most normal guy on the cast.
Well, isn't that more fun? That's more fun for an actor to have somebody that's less than normal as your son. True. I guess normal is boring in your line of work, I would think. Yeah, it's absolutely true.
But still, you have to kind of wonder, what is it about me that makes them think I could be Frank's mother on that show?
Well, see, I don't want to tip the hat, but it'll make sense if you see it. I don't want to tip the hat because it's actually a surprise within the scene. So yeah, so I really can't reveal it.
Okay.
And then it makes total sense. And
right.
I'm going to have to say that Judah Friedlander, or the character of Frank, looks very handsome in a suit.
Okay. Did you know Judah before this?
I did not know Judah. And he's such a sweet man. Very supportive guy. After we played the scene, he came and saw me in Gypsy, which I thought was so sweet because, he's working all day and he doesn't necessarily want to go out at night. And there he was. And I was really thrilled that he came.
And is it, since we can't talk too much about the scene, but can you tell us, is it likely we'll see your character again?
Well, I would love that. And who knows? We'll see if the writers pick up this character and I come back. We'll see. I certainly hope so, because it's a great character to play, too.
Now, you mentioned that Alec Baldwin is in the scene with you, but yes, that you knew Alec from before. Where do you go back to? We go back to auditioning for various things in New York City back in the 70s. Wow. You run into certain actors that are, auditioning for a movie or a television show or theater, and they'll see both men and women, and, you meet a lot of people that way. Mm-hmm. Now, you've obviously acted over your career with some very big personalities on the Broadway stage and film, TV. Probably a number of them big scenery chewers like Alec. Where does he fit in with that group? Well, I've never worked with Alec before, and he's a very, very smart man and a very intelligent actor. And so I had a great time with him. Scenery chewers, you don't want to work with again. You want to work with smart actors that make a scene better. And Alec is one of those kinds of actors. Scenery chewers have no idea what they're doing except chewing scenery. Mm-hmm. Now, he was, I think he was concerned after the first season of 30 Rock. There were a number of things going on, but that maybe this wasn't the best place for his talent. I mean, he'd done movies, he'd done Broadway, Does he seem like he's made the adjustment?
Yeah, he seems very happy. But, you know, I was only there ever so briefly, so I really don't know how Alec truly feels. I think we were just happy to say hello to one another and hang out with one another for a while, but we didn't get into anything deeper than that and the scene we were playing. But I think he appears to be happy. He's certainly winning the awards for it. So there's, positive reinforcement from the industry about his involvement. So,
how does the TV experience in terms of preparation and blocking compare to Broadway? I imagine things have to happen much, much faster.
They do. And it'll depend on your director and the amount of time that can be given to each individual scene. I think it's a different technique, and you have to adjust to that particular technique, and that technique is a lot faster. If you have technique to start off with, then it's not going to freak the actor out, to then adjust to what is required for television and what is required for film. You don't have 4 weeks rehearsal. You only have that day. You have maybe 4 minutes rehearsal. But if you know the material and and you're flexible, then it's really no different than rehearsing anything else. You just have to be confident in the material you've been given to deliver.
I guess for a sitcom, especially in New York, bringing someone in from the stage is probably a very quick fix for them. They can go, hey, this is someone who can remember lines, learn stuff quickly, get in, get out, and will be very professional.
I think you're right. When I was on Life Goes On, there was a cast member who I don't believe had ever done anything before or had minimal experience, who never came to the set with his lines learned. And Warner Brothers wouldn't do anything about it because he got the most fan mail. And so we had to wait. Those of us that knew our lines and those of us that had prepared for the scene had to wait until he was spoon-fed, word for word, his lines. And it was unprofessional, but nobody did anything about it because they couldn't. Warner Brothers said, he's staying on the show, he gets the most fan mail. And that's not that is somebody without technique and without any desire, really. But from a stage actor, if they're serious, comes prepared. They know they have
to. You mentioned, of course, your role on Life Goes On. You also had a spot as a guest star on Frasier, for which you got an Emmy nomination. How does the writing on 30 Rock, which you said you're a fan of, compare with, say, Frasier? I would guess it's probably along the same line.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, good writing allows an actor to act well. Bad writing, an actor has to figure out how to look good. And in both cases, the writing is good. So all you have to do is deliver the lines without doing anything other than deliver the lines. So you're lucky when you have good writing, and it all comes down to the writing. I'm sorry, Patty.
Do you think Tina Fey, who conceived and writes 30 Rock, has the chops and the timing maybe to take her talent to Broadway when the show ends its run?
If she wanted to, she could do anything now. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't know what she would, unless she wanted to write for Broadway. Maybe she wants to perform on Broadway. I don't know. She can do anything she wants.
All right, last question, because I know you got to go. What can fans expect to hear in your new concert tour with Mandy Patinkin? It's
a show about relationships, and it opens with the scene between Emil and Nellie in South Pacific, and there are 2 songs from Evita, and then it closes with the second act closes with the scene between Julie and Billy from Carousel.
Very good. Well, folks, you can catch Patti LuPone this Thursday at 9 p.m. on 30 Rock on NBC. You can also catch her in concert with Mandy Patinkin beginning March 7th. Check her website, www.pattilupone.com, for more details. And Patty, thanks so much for joining us on Mr. Media today.
Thank you, Bob.
My pleasure. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And folks, for more TV star interviews, surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can check out my earlier conversations with the stars of Chuck, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Caroline in the City, Worst Week, and yes, even Lassie. Please think about writing an online review of Mr. Media, casting a vote for Mr. Media, or marking Mr. Media as one of your favorites, whether you listen on Blog Talk Radio, digitaljournal.com, Podcast Pickle, Vox, Folio, Mediafly, Podfeed.net, Blueberry Zencast, or Audio. You can also now subscribe to Mr. Media's blog on the Amazon Kindle Reader. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. That's ANDELMAN. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. I always appreciate when you give up a piece of your day to spend it with us.